Let me first start by thanking Kate and Dave for having invited me here. It is, and looks like it's going to be even more, an incredibly inspiring and hope-producing experience, and I really thank you very much. I thought that the figures you gave us a little while ago this afternoon about youth participation in politics were a bit depressing, to be honest. And I, therefore, even with greater pleasure that I introduce to you a young woman who is an exception to that depressing picture, very much so. Sila Basturck is a student of business administration. She has political ambitions, and she certainly has a very strong civic duty. She's at the University of Basturck in Turkey, but right now an exchange student in Holland. She's a scholar of the Gallagher Foundation. Back home, when she's there, she's an educational volunteer. And she has been a volunteer electoral observer in the past elections and saw firsthand some of the shenanigans that were going on there, and she'll speak to us about it in a moment. I think that all of these experiences is, as I said before about hope producing, is certainly a beacon of hope. It's certainly a beacon of hope for Turkey, but for all of us, I think. And as we were discussing, and I was getting to know her before coming here, her last sentence to me, which I will quote to you because it sets the stage for what she's going to be saying, is that our generation in Turkey has to be in politics. There is no other way. Sila.
Hello, everyone. On May 2013, I took part in the biggest civil demonstration in Turkey's history. We were already suffering from the restrictive policies of Turkish government, large-scale construction projects causing ecological damage, hate speech, and anti-democratic and unsecular policies affecting all institutions. The government was planning to replace the last piece of green in central Istanbul, called Gezi Park, with a shopping mall. This was the last straw for us. After that, nothing will be the same in Turkey for millions of young people like me. We were on the streets demonstrating for our rights. This was the largest, youngest, unplanned protest without a leader in our history. Yet, Turkish media was silent. Instead, a major news channel aired a documentary about penguins, while police attacked us with tear gas and water cannons. We used Twitter to share photos of police violence, and hashtag #OccupyGezi became the trending topic worldwide. During the protest, 11 people lost their eyes, and our 8 friends were killed by Turkish police. One of them, Berkin Elvan, was just 15 years old. Average age in Gezi Park was 28, and 44% of participants said this is their first political action. Only 4% of protesters were representing a political organization, and 18% of them said they were not going to vote. The first local elections after Gezi movement were in March 2014. Like many, I didn't believe elections would be fair. We organized over the internet initiatives to monitor elections in Istanbul and Ankara. I volunteered in Ankara team and convinced many of my friends by using social media. Also, I met face-to-face as many as possible to make them join. Our task was to monitor the polling stations and make sure that voting was fair and results were accurate. After the official results were announced over the internet, we compared them with the actual count. And we found many differences between the results, almost always in favor of the ruling party. One thing we have learned from Gezi movement, we were the ones that had to protest against this injustice. Many volunteers were not a member of any political party, including me. We were united by the Gezi movement spirit. There was no organizational structure or a leader who was giving orders. Again, we used Twitter to organize and to document the extent of the fraud. Some volunteers even tried to code a program to compare results faster. Despite all of our efforts, official results didn't change. The candidate of the second party took our objection to the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court threw it away, so now he has taken the case to the European Court of Human Rights. If we cannot trust elections, if we are suspicious about how the votes are counted, what is the meaning of democracy? Yes, democracy is not just about voting, but we are selecting our decision makers by votes. If our votes are stolen, that means our future is also. After all of the things I saw as an observer, I ask you, please protect your votes and make sure elections are fair in your countries. Okay. I know political order is far away from what we want to achieve. And the fight of justice has no national boundaries. We don't have to live in a way that is imposed on us by anti-democratic and unsecular politicians. I believe when we meet again as returning ambassadors or perhaps even councillors, we will be talk about how we occupy politics and build a better future for everyone. Thank you.